Wemby leads it to Fox, to the basket, finally gets one to go.
And you see they went right to the basket with no Victor Wembanyama in the game.
Stephon Castle rolls it over the rim and one. Rookie's got it back. Step back.
Yeah, they're going to go right at J-Dub.
Yep.
He's been off for a while. Look at that crossover there by Castle.
You went up against Manu. You know what that was like.
Well, when I became the sixth man, he was the person I studied to try to be a guy who could provide a bunch off the bench. And Champagny.
For ideas of how to get this thing unlocked a bit as Fox bags a couple more at the line. 20-0.
Okay, game went final. Series tied. 3-3 going back to San Antonio. 118-91. 118-91. But this is what I'm talking about, all right? When you look at the minutes when Wemby is off the court in the second quarter, what does the game look like? But the idea is that when Wemby goes to the bench, can you keep it close? Can you make sure you're not giving away 10-0 runs? Can you make sure you're not giving away 8-0 runs? Can you not give up free lanes to the basket? Vassell, Castle, Harper, move your feet, stay in front of guys. The biggest run of the game was to end the third quarter. In that span, to end and this goes back to how dominant San Antonio's defense was. They were only 5 for 13 in that span, and they had no three-pointers, okay? No three-pointers, 5 for 13. You go 1 for 15. And let me see, just to make sure. All right, SGA only sat 2 minutes in the third quarter. Okay, he sat from the 4-minute mark to the 2-minute mark. That's terrible if you're OKC. You cannot have that stretch. Again, your best players on the court for most of those minutes. That's very important for San Antonio, because if you're having situations where Wemby's out of the game, you're keeping them away from the basket still, you're not making Blue Cornet a liability in that scenario. I mean, this was a great win for San Antonio. I know it's going to be some complaints about the fouls, but like I said, there's several factors here that we need to key in on. Fouls, 19, was it? Let me see. Fouls was 21-14. Turnovers, you had 12 turnovers for San Antonio, 12 turnovers for OKC. Shooting percentage, I mean, look, Dort, 2 of 11, 4 of 11 from McCain, 6 of 18 for SGA. Overall, they shot 36.8% from the field. You look at San Antonio, 4 of 7, 4 of 8, 10 of 21, 5 of 10, 6 of 9, 4 of 7. You're shooting 46%. So there's a 10% difference in San Antonio's attempts and OKC's attempts. I mean, you can't blame everything on the refs. If you're going to shoot terrible on top of not getting calls, there goes the game. Like I said, turnovers was even. Fouls, I mean, 11-12 for OKC, 21-25. So there's 10 points difference right there. But you lose by what? 18 plus 9 to 27. So you're saying you lose by 27 points based on 10 free throws. That can't be the only answer. That can't be the only answer. There has to be other reasons you lose this game. Looking ahead to game 7, okay? I will say it again. The important things in game 7 to watch is when SGA is on the bench and when Wemby is in the game during that period of time. Then the other factor that you got to pay attention to is when Wemby is on the bench, what does their defense look like versus OKC? Because, like I said, Luke Cornet is your only defense at the rim, okay? It's your only defense. So what do those minutes look like? We also got to talk about turnovers, fouls, and shooting percentages. The fouls are going to be lopsided based on where you're at. It's the playoffs. These are two great teams. The fouls are going to be lopsided. When you look at the side of OKC, right? Are the others knocking down shots? Tonight, Dort wasn't. Caruso didn't have a big night from 3. Cason Wallace played well, but he wasn't on fire, right? McCain, good night, but he wasn't on fire. What are the others going to be looking like in game 7? What is the young guys like Harper, Castle, Vassell? What are they going to look like in game 7? Wemby, he's expected to be Wemby. Fox, he's expected to be better than 1 for 9. I expect him to be better than 1 for 9. He's been great facilitating the ball. We've seen that, but no turnovers at an astronomical rate for San Antonio. That's how they're going to stay in the game. Then you got to look at game of runs. Tonight, San Antonio started the game on a run. OKC responded, but this time around, San Antonio did not panic. If you're on the road, young team, never been there, game 7, trip to the NBA Finals on the line, you come out, you go on a run. Are you going to panic when they respond? If OKC goes on a run, is it going to balloon to a 20-point lead, or are you going to respond? Get it back in 1-5. Get it back within 4. Get it back within 1. Tie the game. Let's take good shots. Because one thing about tonight is they didn't have to pay when they took bad shots because OKC did not shoot the ball great. SGA didn't shoot it well from the field. So they're not making you pay tonight, but they will in game 7. They most definitely will in game 7. And SGA's whistle is going to be back to the way it was when you were in game 5. You got to be mindful of that. But like I said, man, Thunder 91, Spurs 118, series tied 3-3, going back to San Antonio. That's one more for the good guys, man.
I'm tired of being humble. I'm tired of letting people think they got a chance.